let's check in with the president, who has finally hit the campaign trail for the midterms.
Before that, I was down a little further down in the middle of New York, and an outfit called IBM. They're investing in these chips for serious. Anyway, I won't go through them all, but.
And yesterday he was in California when, in the midst of an energy crisis, he was trumpeting the loss of coal jobs and the closure of coal plants across the country.
So it's going to become a wind generation. And all they're doing is going to save them a hell of a lot of money and using the same transmission line that transmitted the coal-fired electric on. We're going to be shutting these plants down all across America and having wind and solar.
Perhaps they should send Joe back down to the basement or his favourite Delaware beach to limit the damage. It's clear that the Democrats, from the president down, are not interested in campaigning on consequential issues, real issues like inflation, the energy crisis, the border crisis, the perilous state of the economy and the surge in violent crime. No, they want to pretend that it's democracy itself that is on the ballot this election.
There's something else at stake. Democracy itself. I'm not the only one who sees it.
I understand that democracy might not seem like a top priority right now, but we have seen throughout history, and we see right now around the world, what happens when you give up on democracy.
Even Hillary Clinton, the woman who refused to accept the 2016 election result, who said the election was stolen from her, who pushed baseless Russian conspiracy theories, and to this day refuses to acknowledge that she lost fair and square. Yes, Madam Election Denier herself is claiming that voting for anyone but the current ruling party will threaten democracy itself. And she's already peddling conspiracy theories about the Republicans stealing the 2024 presidential elections.
The 2022 midterm elections, and they are incredibly important. But we also have to look ahead, because you know what? Our opponents certainly are. Right-wing extremists already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election.
Predictably, the Democrats' propaganda arm is dutifully mimicking this absurd narrative.
He made it clear that democracy is at stake this November.
Democracy is at stake this November.
Democracy is at stake.
Our democracy is at stake.
The future of our democracy is at stake.
We all know democracy is at stake.
This is the most important election coming up because democracy is at stake.
Nothing less than the future of democracy is at stake.
It's a bizarre talking point to push, to suggest that voting freely for the side you support is somehow a threat to democracy. So engaging in democracy is a threat to democracy, according to Democrats. You know what? They can see a red wave coming and they have nothing to offer other than fear and division. In recent days, we've travelled across 5 states talking to people from all political persuasions, and it's clear that economic stress is having a severe impact from wealthy areas to the poorest, most crime-ridden parts of the country. But he thought all the talk of democracy being under threat was a tad unhinged. Let me give you a preview of the truly nutty commentary some of the American left are pushing right now. They're losing and they're scared. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. on the Rita Panahi show, I'm going to bring you a special edition of Lefties Losing It. Here is a little preview featuring the ABC's Sunny Hostin comparing white Republican women to roaches, and MSNBC anchor Joy Reid claiming that inflation isn't really an issue. It's just a word Republicans have been teaching the electorate.
But what's also surprising to me is the abortion issue. I read a poll just yesterday that white Republican suburban women are now going to vote Republican.
Why?
It's almost like roaches voting for Reid.
What they've done is they've taught people the word inflation, right? Yeah. Most people who would have never used that word ever in their lives are using it now because they've been taught it, including on TV, including in newspapers. They've been taught this word.
That is literally so stupid that it doesn't warrant a response. But yes, the Democrats are scared and they're willing to further divide the country and even engage in the most absurd conspiracy theories to hold on to power.